Welcome back to the first analyst desk you guys have had here on the global stream. We're going to go over what happened in those 3 games and just talk a bit about that. KT, for you guys who did miss it, spoiler alert, did take the 3-0 victory over MVP. Here's the results of game number 3.
The closest one we had this night, KT definitely almost making it look like they were about to lose, but then a very good fight, and as many people predicted, they come out 3-0 over MVP.
The Ash doing wonders, but also Camille really just once she hit that 2-3 Adam spike, just as Ellis was saying, was so hard to deal with in every lane that she was in. Fantastic engage potential, nice bit of follow-up damage from both the Victor and MF, and some good lockups by Score. It didn't have the most damage, but definitely was a big part of that team.
That's right. Of course, we are setting up for that final, MVP interview with KT ROLSTER. All the fans are flocking to the interview zone already.
Oh, yeah.
But before that, we're going to take a quick look at that, highlight video from that 3rd set.
So this is where a bunch of members of KT get picked off, and where things begin to look like KT's kind of just taking it easy. It's like, okay, well, DEFT gonna get flashed on here, SMEB going down, and they immediately convert that into a Baron.
Such a great moment for them there because, they didn't really have to expend a lot apart from the spells of Max. And like you said, it converts the advantages very nicely, which is why it was so close. MVP, again, I was convinced that they're about to take at least 1 set, right?
Yeah, we were definitely expecting them to, and props to them for sticking in every single game, making it very, very close. But not quite up to the snuff. Getting 0-3'd by KT definitely does say something about where these 2 teams are at, even with all the mistakes that KT did have in the series.
Although if you do look at history, it is somewhat of an improvement. They did get to the wild card this time, so who knows, maybe in summer, the finals, or at least the semifinals.
Well, definitely expecting them to get better, but we'll see if they can hang with the upper echelon of the top 3 teams right now, KT, SKT, and Samsung.
And for KT, this is really where the gauntlet begins, I feel, because who do they have to play after this? Samsung and SKT if they actually want to take this spring season title.
So let's see who the MVP from the first playoff set here was. It was DEFT, actually. I think this is from all 3 games.
For the 3rd set, I believe.
Okay.
It says on the bottom, it's his first postseason MVP, and therefore he has 100 MVP points. And fair, I think. It was really a toss-up, in my opinion, between him and SMEB. But he hit a lot of critical arrows and really clinched the deal for KT in that 3rd set.
So let's see what's happening now. Who do we have on the desk? It is Score.
I think
the coach.
As the team captain, they brought in Score, and then they did bring in head coach Lee.
Makes sense.
So first of all, how do you feel about the result, head coach? And head coach Lee says, set 3 was the type of game that really exposed our weaknesses. So I was really watching, with a lot of anticipation because I'm thinking, are we going to lose this? Because if we lose this, it's going to be a really big deal. But in the end, he says he's very satisfied with the 3-0 score. He's very happy. He's very relieved that the team managed to settle it there in the 3rd set. Now, a question for Score, how do you feel? Because, it must have been really nerve-wracking to head into that 3rd set. And Score says, you know, heading into that one, I told everybody, because everybody looked a little bit indecisive, I told them, you know, I'm confident, I'm feeling fine, but after the game was over, Score says, you know, when I was talking to the head coach, I realized that, you know, maybe I wasn't as nervous as steely as I thought. Now again, elaborating on that point, Score says, well, I don't think my teammates really considered the fact, or my teammates really even thought about the possibility of losing, but for me, when I thought of maybe potentially losing that third set, I actually thought we might lose a whole series like that. So big relief in the end. And domestically, a lot of the opinion surrounding this match was that KT ROLSTER had the stronger early game or the laning phase, but MVP showed a lot of finesse in that matter as well. What does Score think about that? And Score says, you know, in the regular season, whenever we played MVP, it's always like we actually do so well in the early game and then we fall off. You know, MVP takes the lead somehow. So today I came here thinking, you know what, we better show them what KT team fighting is really about. Now asking head coach Lee about his opinion on that answer, and same question, he says, well, I feel like Score might be exaggerating that part a little, but from the coaching staff's perspective, you want your team to have a good laning phase and a good team fight ability, right? So looking forward, he feels like the team might be able to achieve perfection if they just, you know, stay on course and polish up the parts that they're maybe a little lacking in. Although, with regards to today's match, he's very satisfied because it feels like it was the type of match that also showed a lot of improvement on their perceived weaknesses.